Hello there and thanks for choosing RwandaTV News. I am Isabel Masozera. This is what we have coming up. The President of the Supreme Court urged anti-corruption committees in courts to cooperate in order to reduce corruption in the Rwandan judiciary and justice system. And Rwanda's Prime Minister has urged more than 5,700 graduates from the University of Rwanda this year to become yet another spark in Rwanda's developmental efforts. Thanks for choosing RwandaTV News. Now, as we begin this edition of the news, let us quickly inform you that the President of the Republic of Rwanda and the First Lady are now in Tunisia to attend the 38th Francophonie Summit, currently underway. The Summit of Heads of State and Government meeting is scheduled to take place over the weekend. And moving on to judicial matters, the President of the Supreme Court has urged anti-corruption committees in courts to cooperate in order to reduce corruption in the Rwandan judiciary and justice system. He said this against the backdrop of a survey on the governor's scorecard that indicated 20% of the citizens pointed out that there's corruption in courts. Adams Kwizera kicks us off.
According to this year's Citizen Report Card, which is carried out by the Rwanda Governance Board, RGB, 20% of the citizens believe that there is corruption in judiciary, but that number only reaches about 11% who criticize countermeasures of corruption in this sector. A judge in the Court of Appeal, Kaliwabo Charis, noted that the most of the people who criticize courts are the ones who lost their cases in judiciary. You can't find someone who won the case in the court complaining, but the one who lost tries to defend himself by condemning the court that they lost the case due to corruption. That's why when you try to pass through his case, you may find something different to what he said. On the other side, the Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court, Dr. Faustin Neziryayo, finds that there is a truth in this statement, and that's why there are anti-corruption committees in the courts. There may sometimes be caused by few respondents in the survey and express their opinions according to their observation. That's why you may find there is some cases which are true. That's why we established this committee and also make a follow-up on its operation, hence to provide a valuable production in fighting corruption in judiciary. Since 2005 up to now, the High Council of Judiciary has dismissed 64 judges and court clerks for corruption and behaviors that leads to corruption. Members of the Anti-Corruption Committee in the courts say that they are committed in fighting corruption. Few people can achieve their goal by also sharing it to their colleagues. By that time, it will help them to fight corruption in judiciary as well. The reformed anti-corruption committees in the courts were officially launched in April this year, where their leaders on Friday held discussions with the President of Supreme Court, where he urged them to put much effort to fight against corruption in the judiciary and justice as well. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
In more news, Rwanda's Prime Minister has urged the more than 5,700 graduates from the University of Rwanda this year to become yet another spark in Rwanda's developmental efforts. The Prime Minister made the call during the university's 2022 graduation ceremony in Nyagatare district on Friday.
The graduation ceremony was held in the Eastern Province and featured parades with the proud students being classified according to the studies they had just completed and their level of expertise. Addressing the graduates, the Prime Minister of Rwanda, Dr. Edouard Ngirente, urged them to become yet another spark in Rwanda's developmental efforts. Despite the COVID-19 challenges that you faced, as did the entire world, you did all that you could. We therefore wish you all the best in your lives ahead as you begin serving our country in different capacities. I want to therefore once again urge you to go out and be catalysts of change, be exemplary in the workplace and people of integrity. The graduating students and their parents expressed great joy for their achievements, and for the first time ever in the university's history, They were immediately granted their certificates to take home with them on their day of graduation. A total of 5,702 successfully completed their studies, 25 receiving PhDs, 628 masters, 4,717 degrees, and another 332 being given diplomas.
Still on education matters, more than 100 University of Rwanda graduates from 21 different countries around the world have hailed Rwanda's leadership, adding that the country is a great example in regards to achieving sustainable development for the betterment of Rwandans and Africa as a whole.
The Rwandans are very friendly, very peaceful people, a most clean country, or at least take some strategy from Rwanda and apply it to our system.
We are so happy because now we are going back in our home nations. We are going to do whatever it takes for medications to be available across our country, vaccines and other equipments needed in hospitals, and also contribute to what can lead to the well-being of our citizens in the East African community, and also to the collaboration that can lead to their development.
Katika uchumi ambao kama jumuiya, uchumi ambao unaweza kuleta maendeleo yetu kwa pamoja kama jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki.
Prime Minister states that this is an indication that the quality of education in Rwanda is improving and that the government will support its strengthening.
On a day like this again, it is also an opportunity to appreciate what the University of Rwanda has achieved in the development of the education sector. And some of those include, like I said, in the students who graduated today, they are foreign students, and this demonstrates how the university is also attracting students from other nations. These students exceed 100, and they come from 21 different countries from across the world. As you also know, one of the objectives of the university is performing research studies, and we appreciate how the University of Rwanda has continued to develop these studies, for it can be a university based on researchers. This has contributed to the increase of teachers and training them, so we appreciate that the university has achieved all these goals.
Now, Rwandan manufacturers have expressed appreciation for the big step towards supporting industrial growth. However, they are still grappling with challenges like access to materials and the cost of transportation that inflate the price of industrial materials. Betty Motoni has more.
Services-related activities are the highest contributor to Rwanda's economy, making up 47% of the country's GDP in 2021, while employing 39% of Rwandans. The year 2020, 52,000 Rwandans got jobs in different industries, and 88% were youth. The manufacturers are so pleased by the way number of industries are increasing, regardless the challenges faced.
This make a lot of challenges when it comes to transport of raw materials, of packaging materials. So all we need, including even machines, including spare parts, all we need is coming mostly from abroad. This is a challenge, especially when we have to produce something locally. Sometimes it can make it a little bit higher, on the cost. So making us sometimes difficult to compete with products coming from abroad. So challenges are there, we know they are there, but we are also there to challenge those challenges.
Rwandans should love their own things. If you don't love your own and use them, there is nowhere we are heading. The industrial development we need, we cannot achieve it because if they don't love and use them, we can remain behind. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Jacques Chrysostome Ngabitsinze, noted that there should be commitment, improved quality and quantity of products, and making sure that manufacturers know what their customers want. All this will help in achieving the set goals.
Is a journey because with the program we have as Africans 2063, we see that industrialization will be one of potential area of African countries to make sure that they can develop themselves and they can create wealth to their populations. With the agenda we have 2063, with the policy we are reviewing, we hope that Rwanda will be able to position itself as a competitor in Africa.
Rwanda manufacturing sector grew at 14.1% since 2017, recording a GDP contribution of Rwandan francs 1.005 billion in 2021, and is expecting to grow to Rwandan francs 1.262 billion by 2025. Betty Mutoni, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Betty, for that report. Now, some of the exporters of agricultural products say that the opening of AfriSat branch in Rwanda, an agency that conducts inspections as well as creates pathways to international markets, will increase their productivity. Take a look. AfriSat helps traders in Rwanda, including entrepreneurs and farmers of coffee, pepper, vegetables and flowers, with quality control from cultivation to processing and delivering products to the international market. Previously, the offices were located in Kenya. However, they now have opened a branch in Rwanda. From the time AfriSat started working in Rwanda, we have been very happy because before we used to get our qualifications from outside of Rwanda. But since they came here, it has been easy because they come to us and they're able to audit and they're able to give you advice and get your certificate with ease. It took a long time to convince them to come here. We invited them a long time ago, but now we are able to go to them and they're able to audit us. It is very easy because they're able to work from here. Before, we needed a lot of money, but now we need less money because there's no need for travel tickets, and we are able to work with them easily and ask for help in real time. The director of AfriSat in Rwanda expressed their enthusiasm to work in Rwanda and detailed their scope for the Rwandan market.
We normally do customer service in terms of customer care. We do our visits to clients, and we have the office open for any technical questions or any administrative questions. The clients are they can avail themselves to the office, and we are able to assist them. Whether it is technical or administrative, then we are always available in the office to assist them. So Rwanda, we are here. Yes, bring in the certification we do for you at very affordable prices.
According to the group chairman and director, the Rwandan market is essential for them because it produces some of the best products on the market.
We came to Rwanda in 2011, and we had the first 3 tea factories that we certified, and through them and through their referrals we have continued to grow, so that out of the 32 certificates, or we call them factories, we are currently serving 28, meaning that in Rwanda we are the leading certification body.
AfriSat is operational in Rwanda, Kenya, Congo, Burundi, Tanzania, and Uganda, specializing in coffee, tea, pepper, flowers, fruits, and more, creating pathways to the international market. Moving on, in partnership with the New World TV, the Airtel Telecommunication and Company introduced the Airtel TV application that will help Airtel users to stream all 64 games of the 2022 World Cup. All these games will be streamed using Airtel Internet and free of charge. The Chief Commercial Officer of Airtel Rwanda elaborates more on this application.
We as an Airtel, we have launched Airtel TV, which is going to give a privilege to all the Airtel customers to watch World Cup free of cost. What they have to do is just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store of iOS and start streaming. The only condition which has is they need to have an Airtel SIM and Airtel data.
Always a pleasure bringing you the latest here in Rwanda and beyond. I am Isabel Masozera, and on behalf of the entire team here at RBA, thanks for watching and keep it RTV News.